The paradox of self-love. Welcome to Void. Today we're exploring what might be the most powerful paradox in human experience, that the most selfless thing you could possibly do is to love yourself completely. In a world that often equates self-love with selfishness or narcissism, this idea can feel almost revolutionary. But what if I told you that your relationship with yourself forms the template for every other relationship in your life? What if the way you treat yourself directly impacts how you show up for everyone around you? Today we'll explore this beautiful paradox and discover how true self-love creates ripples of freedom that extend far beyond ourselves. One of the most persistent myths in our culture is that focusing on yourself is somehow selfish. We're taught from an early age to put others first, to sacrifice our needs, and to measure our worth by how much we give to others. But there's a fundamental flaw in this thinking. When we neglect ourselves in the name of serving others, we're actually offering the world a depleted, diminished version of who we truly are. Think about it this way. Have you ever been on an airplane and heard the safety instructions? In case of emergency, put your own oxygen mask on first before helping others. This isn't selfish, it's practical wisdom. If you run out of oxygen while trying to help someone else, you both suffer. Self-love works the same way. It's not about choosing yourself instead of others. It's about nurturing yourself so that you can be fully present and available to others. What's happening inside you doesn't stay inside you. Your inner state, whether it's peace or turmoil, love or fear, abundance or lack, radiates outward and affects everyone around you. When you're filled with self-judgment, that critical voice doesn't just stay focused on you. It begins to see flaws and shortcomings in others. When you hold yourself to impossible standards, you unconsciously expect the same from others. When you deny yourself compassion, it becomes harder to offer genuine compassion to those around you. On the other hand, when you practice genuine self-acceptance, you naturally become more accepting of others. When you forgive your own mistakes, forgiveness flows more easily toward others. When you honor your own boundaries and needs, you create space to truly honor others in their fullness. This isn't theory, it's energy. The frequency you hold within yourself becomes the frequency you broadcast to the world. And make no mistake, people feel it, whether consciously or unconsciously. Here's where we encounter the beautiful paradox. Loving yourself fully becomes the foundation for loving others authentically. When you recognize your own inherent worth and completeness, you no longer approach relationships from a place of lack or need. You're not looking for someone else to complete you or validate your existence. Instead, you come to relationships as a whole person meeting another whole person, not two halves desperately trying to make a whole. From this place of fullness, you can love others not because you need something from them, but simply for the joy of expressing love. You can give without keeping score. You can receive without guilt. You can set boundaries without fear. You can be vulnerable without collapsing. This is what true love looks like. Not the desperate clinging that often masquerades as love, but the spacious allowing that comes from knowing your own wholeness. At the core of genuine self-love is a profound recognition. I am enough. Not I will be enough when I achieve more. Not I would be enough if I looked different. Not I could be enough if I was more like someone else. Simply, I am enough right now, exactly as I am. This isn't positive thinking or affirmation. It's the recognition of a fundamental truth about your being. Just as the ocean doesn't need to become more oceanic and the sun doesn't need to become more sunny, you don't need to become more worthy of love and belonging. These qualities are intrinsic to your nature. The phrase I am itself connects to something profound. In many spiritual traditions, I am represents the divine nature, the essence of being itself. When you declare I am enough, you're recognizing the completeness that is your birthright. This doesn't mean you won't grow, change, learn, or evolve. Of course you will. But that evolution comes from a place of expansion and exploration rather than fixing or correcting a deficiency. Perhaps the most profound aspect of self-love is how it creates freedom, not just for you, but for everyone around you. When you liberate yourself from self-judgment, you create a field where others feel safe from judgment too. When you free yourself from impossible standards, you make it safer for others to be human. When you release yourself from the grip of shame, you help dismantle the systems of shame that entrap others. As the great Carl Jung understood, the liberation of self is inherently the liberation of all. In the depths of our being, we are connected. Your brother's peace is your peace. Your sister's freedom is your freedom. This isn't merely philosophical, it's practical. When you truly love yourself, you naturally stop participating in dynamics that diminish others. You stop needing others to be small so you can feel big. You stop needing others to be wrong so you can be right. You stop projecting your unhealed wounds onto others. Instead, you become a living invitation for others to step into their own wholeness and freedom. Now I'd like to guide you through a simple but powerful practice for cultivating self-love through awareness. This exercise comes from understanding that we cannot truly love what we don't fully acknowledge and embrace. Let's begin by taking a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down. Close your eyes if that feels right for you. Take a few deep breaths, allowing your body to relax and your mind to settle. Now, I invite you to notice what's present for you in this moment. What emotions are you experiencing? What sensations are in your body? What thoughts are moving through your mind? Instead of trying to change anything, simply welcome what's here. If you're feeling anxiety, welcome anxiety. If you're feeling joy, welcome joy. If you're feeling nothing in particular, welcome that too. Say silently to yourself, I welcome whatever is arising in this moment. Notice if there's resistance to certain feelings or experiences. That's natural. Welcome the resistance too, with the same gentle acknowledgement. Now place a hand on your heart, feeling the warmth and presence of your own touch. Say to yourself, in this moment, I am enough, exactly as I am. Feel the resonance of these words in your body. Notice what happens when you grant yourself this fundamental acceptance. Remember that this isn't about forcing positive feelings or denying difficulties. It's about creating space for your full experience with compassionate awareness. Take a few more deep breaths, continuing to rest in this spacious awareness. When you're ready, gently open your eyes, carrying this quality of welcoming presence with you. As we close today's exploration of the paradox of self-love, I want to leave you with this thought. The greatest gift you can give to those you care about isn't your endless sacrifice or your perfect performance. It's your wholeness. It's your authentic presence. It's your capacity to love yourself so completely that love naturally overflows to everyone around you. Remember, when you free yourself through genuine self-compassion, you create space for others to experience that same freedom. Self-love isn't selfish. It's the foundation of a life lived in service to the highest good of all. Join me next time as we explore how to recognize and release the illusion of lack that keeps us trapped in cycles of seeking and suffering. Until then, may you rest in the recognition of your inherent completeness and worth.